Welcome to the She Force Show. I'm Amy Carlson, and today I have my wonderful guest, Anastasia, the Mystic of New Orleans. So nice to have you here.
Thank you, Amy, for having me. I appreciate it dearly.
Ah, well, I would love to kick this off by talking about what it is you do and how you got there.
The short cliff notes are when I was a little girl growing up here in New Orleans in a very Irish Catholic family, I was the odd duck out. I would see things that are not there, and we all have imaginary friends when we're little.
Yeah.
And my parents hoped I'd grow out of it, but I didn't. And usually they give drugs to people who talk to dead people, but there is some legitimacy to things because of what I explained. There's no way I could know those things. So my family stepped back and went, oh, okay, and let me run with it. Um, my mother was not that encouraging. My father was super supportive, and my father's side of the family. Later on, I found out that's where it comes
Ah,
from. But they're the more religious side of the family. And as I was a young child in my teens, God, so long ago, um, I was curious.
yeah.
And that curiosity got me to studying different kinds of religions
Mhm.
because I wanted to know. There was a sister that called me the Doubting Thomas, and she's right. I question everything. You could tell me 10 times, and I'm still going, well, the scientific side of this is, they didn't like that too much. But that's how I became um, the mystic. I did not give myself that title. I was blessed with that title by some musicians on tour a long time ago. Um, they brought me on tour to read for them. How strange is that? But back then, some of us did stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been reading tarot, which is my specialty, since the 70s. So I've worked in shop, I've worked events, I've worked in the streets, um, and sometimes still do. But I have my own clientele, and for grins and giggles, I go out as a public service in my head
Yeah.
to read in the public on the street for a very minimal donation, opposed to what my fees are.
Yeah.
That's just how I give back. And sometimes I pick up some clients from that too.
Yeah.
But it's more of being of service. Now that I am the age that I am, I'm not going to say how old that is anymore because it's just a number.
Yep.
Um, I find myself wanting to be more help to the young ones who are up and coming in this, because when I was doing this, there were no real mentors. There were no, there were no mentors really. And now there are many, many different people, but some of the information is incorrect and bastardized to where it's just, oh my stars. No, you can't. This is not woo woo, unicorns and glitter. This is real. It is a way of life. It is not a trendy little thing to do. And I'm going to get a voodoo doll and put a spell on you because you didn't do something that I that I wanted you to do. That's not what this is. This is about love. That's the most strongest magic there is. And
Mm.
that's where I come from that place of love, because that's the most strongest magic there is. And that's the most beautiful thing that there happens to be to me around. That's the wealth, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. And that says a lot about you.
Yeah. Uh, like we were saying earlier, I'm just the eccentric, crazy old white haired lady.
Not just.
um, I incorporate all kinds of things within a routine. As we were speaking before, the thought of yoga to me was putting myself into a pretzel.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not going to happen. Um, Another thing, I have cerebral palsy. So, therefore, that might be another reason that I have such gifts or curses, depends on how you look at it and what day it is. Um, these abilities, because I was a breech birth and I came in back ways and been doing it ever since. But it, it brings color into things. But I think by not having the full mobility, God gave me other abilities so that I could be up there with everybody else, if that
Yeah.
translates. And I think we're all like that. I think we all have the ability, but not everyone is in tune to that ability, or they're scared of it, or whatever their reason. But going back to yoga and why I reached out to you was because I got to do something with this. I got to move more. And it may be late in the game. And I have
Never
kept,
too late.
I hope not, Amy. I really hope not. Um, for decades, I have done the musician vampire schedule: eat breakfast, go to sleep at sunrise, get up at sunset, eat breakfast again, second breakfast, and start my day, which would be 3 or 4 in the evening. That was pretty difficult to do, raising the children, but I had worked overnight and there was all these other things to navigate.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do yoga, but I never made the time to do yoga because in my head, it was pretzel
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
recently. Until recently. Recently, I found out it's not that way. Thank you, Amy. And you can do it in a chair. It's similar to my meditation, which I do every day. Um, I meditate more than I brush my teeth. I don't know if I should say that, but yes, every day.
Yeah.
And I light my incense to whatever altar or deity that I am working with every day. There does not go. I mean, that's what I do, and then I go pee. Sorry for being so
Yeah.
crass.
That's
And then
okay.
let the dog out to pee too. But that's it. It comes first.
Yeah.
And I noticed when I did yoga with you and the movement and the opening up of the channels that we did in the chakras, how long of a relief that it lasted. Because I was thinking, oh, it's just going to stretch this and stretch that. And then I'll have to, I'll be sore. No, that's not what happened. what happened was energizing. What happened was getting those energies to move differently than what they were moving with my meditation and my other modalities that I use. And oh my stars, I was up at 9 o'clock this morning. You guys don't understand. To have such a dramatic shift that I've been working on, and it's really difficult to
Yeah.
change your sleeping habits, uh, and just pushing through it was hard. The
Yeah.
creative way in which I did that
Yeah.
is I set tiny little goals for myself.
Hmm.
Um, I have 11 altars within my house. And so for the summer solstice, which is today,
Yes.
happy summer solstice, everyone.
Yes.
Um, that is coming from the dark to the light. As I was saying, Amy, I feel like I'm doing that. The little goals that I have was every altar deep clean. I do that every season, but the summer solstice is for some reason more important to me. It's around my birthday time.
Oh,
It's youthful in my head as
mhm.
always. Yeah, it's summer,
Yeah.
yay. Those kinds of things. And so to incorporate yoga, movements, um, the meditation has just been a phenomenal boost of energy that I was looking for. The creative side of rearranging the altars and taking off things and putting new things on and deep cleaning them. Um, Remarkable because that does take a lot of time.
Yeah.
Um, I do have people that help me clean my house, but they don't touch my altars. They're not unless I ask them to. It's not something that anybody can do. And it's as mundane as getting wax off of a candlestick, too.
Yeah.
So you got your strange little things that you have to do, um, to readjust those things. Charging crystals, burning Palo Santo, using Florida water to all cleanse these things before you put them back and bless them, and asking them what your intent is. Well, my intent is for them to serve me another wonderful year that they have. I mean, yeah, from last year. And may it be, even as we say down here, more better,
Oh,
or
better.
as a colleague of ours says, something greater, more proper English, but I like more better because and that's the way it flows.
Yeah.
Uh, the amount of energy, because I was seriously lacking, did B12. It was helping, but not as much as getting totally clear energy work. So I compliment you, Amy, big time because it helped tremendously. And I am looking forward to doing more little moves because that seems to be something that I require within my life at this point in time. And I even got me a new toy, a new
Yeah.
tool, under the desk bicycle.
How
It
do you like
came
that?
yesterday.
Oh, good.
So um, one of the my nephew put it together. We're good. It works well. So now I have things that I can do myself,
Yeah.
and I don't have to go off to physical therapy, which I only get so many visits with, or you can't get there for whatever reason, or they can't do whatever. I can do it myself, and it's an independent kind of a thing. Learning to be disciplined will be interesting, though.
Well, maybe it's that word. Like, I don't really like that word. Do you? Yeah, maybe there's a different way to, yeah, work with that. I know exactly what you mean, the idea of it, but it's like, oh, it just seems too serious. Yeah.
Pardon me. Wow.
Oh, you're fine.
I get all choked up saying the word discipline.
Right?
Yeah, no.
See, it doesn't go down right.
Mm-mm.
Um, the verb I've been using lately that I've been finding really fun and trying to apply it in different ways is play. I'm going to
That's
play with
interesting.
this word. I'm going to play with this idea. I'm going to play with this.
That
Um,
is beautiful. I
you have
love
it.
that. People don't understand that neurolinguistics really does make a difference in your mindset,
Yeah.
whereas you removing could, should, would, try from your vocabulary makes so much of a difference. You know, you try to do something. No, you didn't try. You did or you
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
Um, Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I ought to. I have. I done did. I did. I'm not going to. Um, and then the other words, which gives even more power, uh, are no need, no want. I require.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you say that little bit of neurolinguistics and you twist it around in your head, it makes such a difference. So I think I'm going to borrow that from you, if you don't mind, Amy, of I'm going to play because I can relate to that. Discipline sounds military.
Yeah.
No, not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing that I have against the military. It's just
Right.
no.
Yeah. Like just relating something, like if it's something we really want to sustain in our lives, like, yeah, I want more movement or I want more energy flow. Well, then we want to put it with a word that
A
feels
fun.
exciting, a
Yes.
fun. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very conscientious of that.
Yeah.
uh, it's difficult sometimes doing readings for people you don't know. And that's the challenging part of it and the creativity, because tarot reading is telling a story. And usually the cards help you tell that story, of course. But sometimes spirit gets in there and goes, Anastasia, this person needs to know this. And I'm going, oh man, okay, and it's not in the cards, so I still have to explain it
Yeah.
as diplomatically as possible. But the cards are just symbols and signs to help tell a story from your higher self or from your ancestors or your guides to help educate you so that you can make the best decision. It's not written in stone, it is the mostest or the bestest path that you ought to look into and choose, because it'll go this way. If you don't want it to go this way, then of course don't do that. But you can always throw down more cards if you don't like the outcome to see if you do something else, how will it turn out?
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
and that's the real way to use tarot cards. The other way is to use them in meditation. Take one card a week and work with it, play with it,
Play with it.
and uh, that's also very creative too, because
Yeah.
then you can learn about that card. You can learn aspects about it and really play with it and come up with some good good things.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about um the you were talking about symbols, and I feel like that's a I feel like that is kind of a language of energy. Like there's
Yeah.
the physical world, there's the energetic world, and I feel like the symbols are kind of part of that language. What do you think?
Symbols have a more defined, I don't want to say concrete because they can mean several different things, but it's like it pops in your head and you
Mm-hmm.
automatically know. So speaking in symbols is a very creative language, which I adore and love, to where you don't need freaking words, you just automatically know, and you
Yeah.
have that knowingness. um, and that goes for symbols being as silly as dragonflies.
Which I
You know,
saw one the other day and I thought of you. I hadn't seen one yet for this season and reminded
but
me of you.
or the moon, the crescent moon for the crescent city of New Orleans. There's just certain symbols you just know.
Yeah.
Um, there's an endless, a lot of them are very sacred that you just don't put in public, from my understanding. Um, but then again, some of us do, and oh well. Uh, there's a cross, that's a very strong symbol of spirituality and religion. There's a difference between spirituality and religion and love. There's those are three different things. I do not advocate for religion. I understand it. I studied many different ones. I'm more of a spiritualist. Um, but then again, love and spiritualist don't exactly go together either. It's just that one symbol of a heart
Yeah.
is love.
Yeah.
So, you kind of want to just be that symbol and represent it, and just be love, because that has nothing to do with being spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah. Just be love. Ooh.
Yeah, just be love. That's my goal every day, is to just be love. If you have a puppy person or a cat person in your home, or even horses or any kind of animals, they are love, and we ought to treat one another similar to them.
Yeah.
They have no judgment. They just see soul to soul, which
Yeah.
I wish more of us humans would get back to doing. If Yeah, that's all I can say on that one.
I like how you say get back to it.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we've lost it.
Yeah.
This technology is here to help us, and AI is a very wonderful thing. Hell, for somebody like me who's handicapped, who can't really vacuum, freaking beautiful. You're going to vacuum my floor and I don't have to pay you an arm and a leg and feed you lunch.
Yeah.
Just plug in the wall, a little different, or put it in the sun and it'll charge up. Hell yeah. So it's great, but we don't I don't think we know how to really utilize this. And they were really made for war, not what we're using them for. We're trying to, we are, I said try.
Mhm.
We as humans overall, I believe from my perspective, use them in ways that are detrimental, instead of augmenting our reality like they're supposed to be and be helpful, you know. I think we're still in that romance honeymoon phase with technology, but I'm not sure if how that's going to end. uh, because of the way AI is coming in at this
Yeah.
particular point in time.
Yeah.
There's about to be a really huge shift, and it'll be interesting to watch unfold. Me, I'd still rather do face to face in person. This is close, and I'm all
Yeah.
right with it. But I have 78 records that are over 125 years old.
Oh my
I'm just a
God.
little bit old fashioned. Give me that Victrola, and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I used to teach a dance class, and then I didn't teach it for a while. And then there was COVID and everything. And so I'd had this feeling of like, was sort of pulling me again. And so I put my feelers out to the people that used to come and said, "Hey, thinking about trying this out, is there any interest?" And so Monday night, we did the first one.
Yay!
Everyone was so ecstatic to see each other, to be in each
Yes,
other's presence,
yes,
to
yes,
to move together. Like
yes,
the energy was, it was just a reminder to me that, like you say, some things it's like for you and I, we're physically a distance apart. So
yes.
this is wonderful to be able to get together like this. But we also, there is something that is just irreplaceable about
And
being.
the interaction of human to human. Exactly. It's just like the interaction of animal to animal, doesn't matter what species. You sit down and really watch sometimes. It can be quite amazing and amusing, depending on where you are. Um, but that can be done too with humans. I work in the French Quarter.
Yeah.
The streets of the French Quarter have taught me a lot. I do have a formal education, but it's nowhere near the education and blessing that I got to grow up here in New Orleans. It's a strange place. You love it and hate it.
Yeah.
If you are from here or if you've lived here over 10 years, you get to understand that. And no, it's not the same since Katrina still. With that said, there's something about the compassion and interaction with people, and it comes in waves. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. And there is a medium, but overall, it's good. You can see the goodness in people. And that's what I happen to miss with this, and what COVID had shown me was that human interaction. I don't think I could continue like this. No offense to anyone out there or even to you. I'm I require a hug. I
Yes.
require I require a how you doing? In a different manner.
Yeah.
I need to see your eyes live and in person. Not that I can't see them from here or now, but
Still.
it's just something about that is very important to me.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
then again, I could go live in the woods and not see a soul for months and months and years, and it wouldn't bother me either.
Yeah.
But
Well, and there's
still,
a difference, sometimes we need to retreat in order to restore to.
I've heard that, Amy, but I think that's a bunch of crock
Yeah.
on some levels. Sorry, I just think that being alone, you do reflect, but sometimes all the clatter that we hear, you need that little safe or unsafe space that you can go to and just shut it down. I have to shut it down. You know, when I walk into Walmart, oh God, that I do that. I do my best not to, or any store or bar or restaurant. Yeah, I get hits from different people, and I'm going, oh no, 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 because you just can't walk up to people and blurt out things or diplomatically find a way to say, oh, your grandmother, blah, 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 or your brother, or, do you know you have a dog following you? You don't do stuff like that, in my head. It's just not proper. So finding a space, being totally by yourself, is a very wonderful thing for me. But then again, a lot of people don't know how to be alone like that. And I guess having the cerebral palsy and not being able to be so mobile, I think at a very early age, I learned that. And that's where that stems from, that I'm okay by myself, which led to me being okay with me, and
Good thing.
how I grew spiritually and grew into being that love, because I already understood. And then the other stuff just came in whether I wanted it to or not. Yeah.
But you were okay with you. I think that that's a big piece of well, I think that's what we're all looking for. And I think that's, as you say, that's a big part of then how it's like in accepting that, then more unfolded
More comes,
or
or
comes.
more,
Yep.
it's fulfilling in a different manner. You could have just your car and a couple of blankets, and you still have it.
Yeah.
You still have that knowingness and that oneness and that love, and you're cool, and you don't require all these other things. Really, they're fun to have. Like root beer, I'm not going to deny that.
I
But
love it. Like root beer.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's my vice. That and shrimpies.
Mm,
I'm in New Orleans.
yeah, that's right.
You never go hungry here. It is not possible to go hungry here. If you're going hungry here, you're not doing the right bars at cocktail time. Um, it's just not, you can't go hungry here. But
Mm,
that just feeds your body, it doesn't feed your soul.
yeah.
And some of that food you might not have in your body. So, you know, I've learned that, yeah, sometimes what I eat does definitely affect my abilities, the way that I move. Chocolate messes with the arthritis and, stuff, inflammation, but I love chocolate. But root beer, because it has no caffeine
Yep.
and it's still a soda.
Yeah, it's good bubbly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I do drink tons and tons of bottled water. Um, but it just, it's very challenging these days in our modern world to navigate being whole,
Yeah.
which is what you were teaching with the yoga and getting to that way. I loved it when you were suggesting about making kind of like a vision board, but it wasn't exactly that, and cutting out little goals and ideas. Um, that was a great play with taking something mundane and making it fun, which is what I think you're doing with the word discipline that we don't like. But yeah, play. It
Yeah.
makes it far more acceptable psychologically. You're right. And we ought to be playing a whole lot more than what we are. It doesn't matter what age we are. I mean, you don't have to. What's grown up? I'm grown up. Even that phrase, evolve, I can go with that.
Yeah. I like that more.
Yeah. Thriving, as you use, I love that. But grown up at your age, I don't know. I've never been this age before, as some of us have said and mentioned. I don't know. All I can do is act from that space with my heart, with love, and be as authentic as possible for me, and not even for anybody else, because that's where I get the most enjoyment. Gosh, that sounds like I'm self centered, but I'm not. It's just a different kind of knowingness. Oh, he raises his head.
Yes,
That's
yes.
King Ludwig Ozzy Lugosi.
Oh,
Yes,
oh
yes,
my goodness.
being the master of doing his job. I mean,
Yes.
even when I get up in the morning, the first thing that I really have to do
Yeah.
is rub his belly. He
Oh,
does not let me get out of the bed unless I rub his belly. He gives me many, many kisses. He's very loving, and it is how he gets me to start our day.
oh,
So,
I love
how can
that.
you not? Yeah, I mean, and if I start waddling off to the bathroom or to one of the altars, he's like, he'll no belly rub.
That's right.
Where is my belly rub?
This is
And he
priority.
does, yeah, and he does smile. He
Oh,
does smile. It's amazing. So how can I not have a really good day?
when you started off that way. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's what trickles into the meditation, hopefully the yoga, the exercise, and being able to eventually, by maybe October, November, or maybe even Christmas, being able to waddle a whole lot better than I do now. I'm not wanting to run, but it would be nice in case there's a zombie apocalypse and I have to. So yeah, it might come in handy. But
Be Andy.
running,
Yeah.
it's hilarious enough. And I
Oh,
do like my scooter, but um, scooters can be fun. But the
scooters can be
streets
fun.
of
Yeah.
New Orleans are not geared. The streets of the French Quarter are not handicap friendly,
Yeah.
sadly. They're like 300-year-old buildings. I mean,
Yeah.
um,
Well, Anastasia, this has been such a joy. Speaking of fun and play and joy, this has brought me so much joy. And as we wrap it up, I'm wondering if anything comes to mind for you on the solstice that you want to leave people with about the energy around this time.
for the solstice, we are coming from the dark, going into the light, as I was saying. Set intentions today, just two or three of them, or one, just something to help perpetuate yourself forward so that you can thrive, as you say, Amy, and as I say, soul shine. You want to soul shine,
Shine.
and you want to do it for you, not for everybody else. But by oddly, I don't understand this, but when you soul shine or or thrive like that, that energy radiates out so much that others kind of go, "What's this? What's this new shiny thing?" And then it just kind of is a ripple effect. You want to do something like that and keep that love perpetuating out. I know it can't always be that way, and it's not supposed to, because if you don't go into the dark, you'll never learn. So embrace your darkness with a smile and a giggle, with grace and ease, because it's nothing that you cannot work through, because it's yours. And secondly, it doesn't belong to anybody but you. And third, you can overcome it because it is you. No one else can do that for you. And you do it with that love and a little bit of root beer and chocolate.
On that note, I don't know any better way to end that. Thank you. Thank you, Anastasia.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. I don't do podcasts because I'm not used to them, but this was fun.
That's
Thank you
fun.
for the new experience.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for being open to it, just like you were open to yoga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see where it got me. Wonderful places,
Oh,
wonderful places. And I'm
thank you.
very thankful for it.
Me too.
Very thankful.